Hello, Lumina. Welcome back to my channel for part 2 of how DR music is unknowingly sabotaging Black Swan. But first, let's get into the history of DR music entertainment. A lot of people think that DR is a small company, and it is indeed not true. Dr. Music Entertainment, formerly known as Dong Ryung Planning, was founded and established by Yoon Dong Ryung, aka Papa Yoon, aka Mr. Yoon, back in 1989. That means it was founded 36 years ago. Can you believe that? DR Entertainment created the first modern K-pop girl group. He created Baby Vox in 1997, and then every other entertainment company followed as they saw the success DR Music got from the group. He is the reason as to why K-pop girl groups exist. When Yang Suk aka YG left Sotaji and the boys back in 1996, he wanted to create his own agency, but he didn't have enough money to start a company on his own. So he went and asked Mr. Yoon for some money, and so Mr. Yoon gave YG some money to start his company, I assume out of his kindness. So, YG promised to repay Mr. Yoon's kindness in the future when his company succeeded. Now, let's get into Dr. Entertainment's history of mistreating and unknowingly sabotaging his K-pop groups. Lee Hyung aka Lee Jisoo, aka Lee Gai, born in 1968, was a talented woman that debuted in a girl group called Satori in 1988, but unfortunately, after activities for the second album ended, the girl group disbanded due to the three members having different aspirations for their futures. She then was part of a duo called Tam Tam under the stage name Lee Jisoo in 1990. However, in 1991, the other member decided to quit the industry, and so the group disbanded. In 1993, Lee Jisoo was invited by Papa Yoon to join his agency because he really liked her and thought she was extremely talented, yet highly underrated. He debuted her as a soloist in 1993 under her former stage name, Lee Jisoo. She got to release 2 albums as a soloist under DR Music, and then she just stopped making music. People thought that maybe she stopped making music because she was already in her late 20s, which was considered too old for K-pop idol standards at that time. About 4 years later, in 1997, she was preparing to debut in Baby Vox's first generation, which was inspired by her first girl group, Satori. However, she injured herself badly. She had to get operated and thought her career was ruined, so she almost quit. However, Mr. Yoon convinced her not to quit because she was very talented and didn't want her talents to go to waste. He told her to debut a year later in Baby Vox with a different name and age, still under DR Entertainment. She debuted as Lee Gai, born in 1979 in K-pop girl group Baby Vox, a group with every member being 10+ years younger than her. He told her, "You look 20 years old." Everyone lies about their age. How long do you think you'll even be performing? And then he pressured her into hiding her real age to be in Baby Vox. Huge mistake. During her first appearance with Baby Vox, there were fan speculations and suspicions that Lee Gai was older that claimed as she looked more mature in the face than the other members, lacked energy, and made frequent choreography mistakes when performing. Over time, these suspicions accumulated, and it was also noted that Lee Gai's appearance and voice seemed familiar to some fans. Only 4 months after her audition, in January 1999, due to the rise of the internet and archiving of recordings, videos, images, and music, the speculations were confirmed when a fan exposed Lee Gai's real identity as Lee Jisoo, the soloist singer who previously debuted with the agency in 1993. The discovery then led to a big scandal where everyone was pointing fingers at her. DR Music eventually was forced to admit that Lee Gai was indeed Lee Jisoo and that her age was falsified to make her younger to allow her to debut with younger girl group members, despite her being 31 years old at the time. Lee Gai told the press the truth. She told the press that Mr. Yoon Dong did not wish to let her talent go, and he needed a good leader for Baby Vox, and that she had no choice but to work to earn money for her ill father's hospital expenses. Nonetheless, DR Music pushed the responsibility of the scandal to Lee Gai, forcing her to withdraw from Baby Vox and to deal with the backlash by herself. Lee Gai was given an extremely negative image due to the fact that in South Korean society, age plays into a person's image, especially if it's a woman. The public thought that what she did was immoral and unforgivable, and so she completely left the public eye. After Tam Tam disbanded and her solo career ended for a while, a decent agency would have made Lee Gai a reoccurring feature artist for other groups under her previous stage name Lee Gai. They would have also given her a job as a background vocalist or a vocal coach for trainees aspiring to become K-pop idols. But instead of doing all of that, he made her a lie about her age and her musical experience and put her as a full-time girl group member with a group full of 19 to 21-year-olds. The way he also let her take the blame is so cruel. He left her high and dry, whilst he enjoyed making money off of a girl group that he modeled after her. So if we really think about it, Lee Gai is the blueprint and the reason why K-pop exists the way it does right now. Lee Gai unfortunately left the industry after the scandal and moved away. She has changed her legal name and doesn't want anything to do with her K-pop past. In 1999, Dr. Music debuted their first and only boy group, I4. I4 was a 4-member boy group with the 3 members being Korean American and 1 member being born and raised in Korea. They were the first K-pop group to debut with Western names because their concept was them being foreigners. Now, did DR Entertainment utilize the group's specialty as being the first foreign group? No, he disbanded them in 2001 to keep his focus on Baby Vox, his moneymakers, which he did a terrible job at protecting them from anti-fans. In 2002, member Wheesung debuted as a soloist Real Slow under another agency and became the most popular and memorable member of the group. He was top 3 male R&B soloists, besides Rain and Seven. Unfortunately, Wheesung died earlier this year. After I4, he debuted Rania in 2011. I won't go into too much information about the group because a lot of YouTubers have made videos about Rania. Pluppy678 has an amazing video on Rania and the mistreatment they got whist being in Rania. Remember when I told you that YG promised to pay Mr. Yoon back? Well, in 2012, YG decided to help Rania out for their upcoming comeback. The comeback was a song called Style, and it was written by YG writers, choreographed by YG choreographers. The MV had YG background dancers, YG makeup artists and stylists, and YG even let them practice and record the song in their company. Even paid for their appearances for music shows. How can a company that started 8 years after yours, with some of your money, surpass you like that? How can other companies like JYP and HYBE eat off of your idea, whilst your original idea is considered nugu or underrated? Big Hit Entertainment was created later than 16 years later, in 2005, and when they debuted the boy group BTS, everyone thought that they were going to fail, but Big Hit was persistent on making the boys succeed. They even changed the boys' concept and tried new things, whereas Doctor has yet to change anything to make the girls succeed and have a stable career. Well, let's get into Blackswan, their mismanagement, how I would manage them if I was Mr. Yoon, and their impact in the K-pop industry. DR Entertainment has not changed at all when it comes to throwing their artists under the bus or for protecting them from anti-fans. pt.2 is always the one to protect the Blackswan members and herself. The tweet pt.2 tweeted should have been something DR put out themselves. She's a rapper, a singer, a dancer, a performer, a writer, an entertainer, a K-pop artist. Not a PR agent. It would make so much sense for DR to let their representatives and PR do the talking and stop subjecting her to hate by allowing her to put out statements that the company should be putting out instead. Doctors should be able to sue haters and antis whilst writing official statements on their page. She has become the spokesperson for the group, and I don't like it at all. It is not her job, and it just fuels people to hate her some more. Blackswan are not Baby Vox, but for some reason, DR Entertainment manages them like they are. That type of formula only worked because there were no other Korean girl groups out in the 90s, so everyone gravitated towards Baby Vox. The idea of a K-pop girl group was new and fresh, so everyone was interested and wanted to keep up with them. However, in the West, girl groups have always existed, such as Envogue, Jade, Escape, Destiny's Child, Mystique, Cherish, and the list can really go on and on because there is a lot. But when it comes to girl groups with different backgrounds and races, we had groups such as the Spice Girls, Sugababes, the Pussycat Dolls, Danity Kane, The Saturdays, The Stunners, Little Mix, Fifth Harmony, Citizen Queen, Boys World, and others that I may not be aware of. So, what makes BlackSwan different from the others? BlackSwan are under a Korean record label. They live and promote in Korea, and they also sing in Korean. When DR debuted BlackSwan, he already made a big mistake by tying them with Rania. Not that being tied with Rania is bad, it's just that the album was called Goodbye Rania, and it took away the attention from BlackSwan and back to Rania and its mismanagement and member changes. The album, Goodbye Rania, had unreleased Rania songs with Rania's vocals on it and cover songs of Baby Vox. The album has 14 songs, but only 2 songs are original BlackSwan songs. Those songs being Tonight and Over and Over. Now how messy and shady is that album name? Now, if SM debut Red Velvet or aespa with an album called Goodbye EFX with EFX vocals still being on it would be crazy. All hell would break loose. DR should have just let Rania release their last album with the remaining members, instead of bunching those songs in a BlackSwan album, because BlackSwan is a new group, and therefore they should have gotten a fresh start. When DR Entertainment debuted BlackSwan, they said that their concept was sexy as well as the group being made of foreign members. Now, has DR stuck with the sexy concept? No, the only sexy song that they have so far is I Like It Hot, which has been released 5 years after their debut. Speaking of I Like It Hot, let's get into that debacle. When BlackSwan suddenly announced the release of their song I Like It Hot, we were all extremely happy and excited. We had high expectations because Roll Up was amazing. The concept, the styling, the MV, the promotions, just everything was fantastic. We thought that this was a new chapter and that DR was going to finally get it right. We thought finally, we will get 2 comebacks this year, and it will even surpass Roll Up, but then the title track cover dropped, and fans were disappointed straight away. The fans found out that the cover is a screenshot of the sky in the MV. And then when the promotions pictures of the girls dropped, all hell broke loose. The fans were furious because the pictures were extremely face-tuned. The pictures were very blurry due to the editor using the Hollywood and blurring filter, and the pictures were also very saturated and exposed. The fans felt like the girls deserved a better concept for the release. Though the music video for I Like It Hot was great, the fans were split because they felt like the directors and creative directors dropped the ball on the concept of the MV. I personally thought that the MV was great, but a lot of fans hated the hotel scenes and expected more from it. After the MV dropped, we didn't hear from the girls or saw any promotions until almost a month passed. The performance video was bad coming from a girl group under an agency that has been in the industry for almost 40 years. The camera quality wasn't that great, the stabilization of the camera was shaky, and the editing wasn't great at all. It was very choppy and abrupt. Not to mention, they had Fatu who was injured at that time, Dance on Sand. BlackSwan is the blueprint and has been in the game for a long time. Expectations were rightfully high. If a cover group that funds their own videos posted that performance video, no one would bat an eyelid because it's just a hobby for most cover groups. There are many cover groups that have amazing videography and creative directing. Even the fashion bloggers that used to make lookbooks circa 2011 to 2016 had better budget than a group that has been mentioned by the Grammys. Growing up, I used to watch YouTubers like To The Nines and The Lineup. They would come up with amazing concepts, outfits, and had great locations even though they were only 16 and 17 years old. They used to film most of their videos using a tripod. They would even write in their description box, informing their viewers what cameras and editing apps they would use. When they got help from videographers, they would mention it in their description box. They had help from their friends for filming them sometimes. My point is that even teenagers that barely had money do a better job at producing their videos. Those YouTubers have the passion for their craft, whereas the quote-unquote professionals that work under DR Entertainment don't have that same drive and motivation, even though I assume that they get paid. I know that a performance video isn't MV, but it should be held at the same standard at least. If it was a dance practice video, Luminas wouldn't care too much because dance practice videos aren't known to be grand and extra. They are very basic, and the purpose is to show us the dance moves. Kind of like a tutorial. Most K-pop idols have a scheduled comeback. We always knew when Sistar would have a comeback. We always knew when SHINee would have a comeback. Maybe not down to the dates, but we always knew it's summertime. Sister must be preparing for a comeback. But with BlackSwan, it's not only randomized, but there's only ever one comeback per year, which is the reason why people forget about them. We all know that they go back to their countries every December for Christmas, so having a comeback in December is a no-no. I'd say that they should have 2 comebacks a year. One in February or March, and the other one can be later in the year, like in August or September. That way they can have 7 months of preparation for the next comebacks and 2 weeks of Christmas vacation with family and friends. Having 2 comebacks a year doesn't mean that the songs have to be from new albums and EPs. For example, EFX promoted Danger in April, and then they also filmed and promoted Hot Summer in June. Both songs are from the same album. Just like how they made an MV for Karma and Cat and Mouse in the same year. A lot of celebrities have said that touring is what brings them a lot of money, and fans have figured out that since BlackSwan were supposed to go on tour this year, they think that DR and Entertainment are broke and were trying to use the tour as a means for making money to fund BlackSwan's comeback. I don't know whether this rumor is true or not because DR has a history of shelving his groups when he gets bored. But let's say that this rumor is true. A lot of content creators have stopped posting on YouTube because they say that YouTube is the hardest platform to build subscribers and make money because you need to be consistent and to already have a big following and fan base. But guess who already has a large following and fan base? BlackSwan. The official BlackSwan YouTube channel has 903K subscribers, which is a lot in my opinion. DR should be making the girls active on their YouTube channel to make revenue and gain more fans and viewers. The girls can make a video of them remaking their favorite makeup looks that they've done in their career so far and rank them, and they could even do the same video concept for their outfits. They could also just make tutorials of their everyday go-to makeup looks. They could also make weekly vlogs. For example, pt.2 vlogs on Monday, Tuesday it's Envy, Thursday it's Gabby, Friday it's Sriya, and Saturday it's a group vlog. These types of vlogs would be so good if they upload them at least every 2 weeks and between the 2 weeks to upload other types of videos, like covers of second-generation girl groups' songs and dances. Sriya is friends with actor Anupam Tripathi, who played Ollie on Squid Games. They could have made a YouTube video on their channel inspired by Squid Game featuring the rest of the members. pt.2 is friends with Lee Gai. A vlog on songwriting would have been great for the channel. pt.2 and Envy seem to be extremely close to Kani Diabate, world-famous choreographer, and she has also choreographed Roll Up. They can have her on their YouTube channel and for the girls to also be featured on her channel since she has become very popular among Koreans. Dr. could also arrange for Latrice or the rest of Jam Republic to meet up with the girls for a dance challenge video. Envy is friends with former Yukis member Xander. They met through Envy hosting a podcast with Hiram X Wonder Girls member, and the podcast is called Wonder Hours. Whenever Hiram is absent, Xander fills in her spot and hosts alongside Envy. If DR Entertainment was a decent agency, he would contact Xander and have him talk to his former member Kevin Wu, who voiced the Saja Boys in K-pop Demon Hunters, and have them make a YouTube video together and maybe do a duet or something. I assume Sriya and Arya from XN have gotten in contact either through Envy or by Sakshma Srivastava, and they could maybe make a YouTube video together. Whether it be a vlog of them just hanging out or learning to dance moves from each other's group, or making a video on their favorite Indian snacks versus Korean snacks, it would be so big for both Arya and Sriya, especially if these types of videos are posted on both XN's YouTube channel and BlackSwan's channel. Being active on YouTube could get the girls to where they deserve. Let's use makeup guru YouTuber Naomi Jon as an example. She creates makeup and try-on videos to fund her music career because she is an independent artist as well. She puts a lot of effort in her music, production, styling, and music videos. You would think she was under a label or has help from people in the industry. But no, she's funding her own career. Like, look at these videos. They're good for an independent artist. Doctor should also utilize YouTube ads. I've seen a lot of artists use YouTube ads in order to garner attention, even K-pop groups. If Mark Twan from GOT7, a popular K-pop group, can use YouTube ads to promote his solo song Hi As You Then, Why can't BlackSwan? BlackSwan needs a new social media team. The girls need to just bulk film videos whilst we wait for their comeback. We need them on TikTok as well. They really need to be present during challenges and to recreate memes as well. They need a social media team like 5E and Psychic Fever. 5E are a pop group and they have a very great social media team. They respond to fans across social media outlets such as TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. They even respond to haters by making fun of themselves and comment on YouTube reaction videos. Things like that makes fans want to comment more. It increases engagement. That is what marketing and advertising is about. When they released their 10-song debut album, they made official music videos for 6 songs, which leaves them with 4 songs left. Do you know what they did with the remaining songs? They made mini MVs. They filmed most of them in their dance practice room, on a Mac computer, and on the roof of their company. 5E's mini music videos were very simple, but they are fun, entertaining, and had great creative directing. This is something BlackSwan could have done for the roll-up EP, because it only had 4 songs. Speaking of not being able to make a music video for every song, In Will Always Bring Women Up, but Tina Shea made a 2-minute performance video for her album called Baby Angel. She titled the performance video The Baby Angel Experience, and it was really good. We got to see a lot of choreography for songs that we didn't even know had them, and it was indeed a great experience to have watch. Another pop group that BlackSwan's social media manager needs to follow is Psychic Fever's One. Their first YouTube video was posted 4 years ago, and they now have 1,004 video uploads on their channel. They also repost reaction videos of their fans on their YouTube community board, and they comment on the reaction videos as well, which builds a connection with fans. It makes the fans want to always react to their video, to anticipate a comment from the group. DR Entertainment is innovative, low-key iconic, and is the blueprint when it comes to multinational global K-pop groups as well as girl groups. Lee Michelle, an extremely talented girl. She is a half Korean and half African-American singer, rapper, and songwriter, and she participated in a survival show called K-pop Stars circa 2011. The main judges were YG and JYP. During the show, she was eliminated by pre-debut Lee Sung-hoon from K-pop group winner, which was surprising because most people thought of him as the least talented out of the top 5. The judges actually voted for her and gave her a lot of compliments, whereas for Lee Sung-hoon, he got low votes. However, the votes were not up to the judges this time around. It was a public vote. Whenever there was a public vote, Lee Michelle was always at the bottom, which was insane because that woman is a top vocalist. So, when she got eliminated, JYP couldn't keep it in any longer. As JYP announced the winner between Lee Michelle and Lee Sung-hoon, he seemed extremely frustrated. As he was announcing the winner in his speech, he said JYP will be casting Lee Sung-hoon because it is the viewer's choice. At the closing moments, JYP went on to highly praise Lee Michelle for overcoming the racial barriers in Korea's conservative society. He said, "I have one thing to tell Lee Michelle. I kept asking her, during our training, why she couldn't clearly express her true feelings. But she just said she couldn't express herself because growing up she's been hurt so many times by so many people. I strongly believe that all the parents in Korea must continuously teach and educate their child not to make fun of someone or make derogatory comments just because of that person's skin color or race. I wonder if there's any other country than Korea that's so close-minded and oppressed in that manner." And I would like to applaud Lee Michelle for overcoming all the barriers and showing a new possibility with her performance today. In 2011, she was supposed to debut a group called Supergirl, including popular names like Park Jimin, Lee Gai, and 2 other girls under YG Entertainment. However, the debut never happened. YG said that he wanted to focus on Lee Hai's career first, but then he just terminated the other girls' contracts. Allegedly, rumors have it that YG got cold feet because he was nervous to debut Lee Michelle because she is part black. Who knows? Lee Michelle would have been the first black K-pop idol if agencies weren't afraid of criticism and backlash. DR Entertainment took the chance and debuted Alex Reid, and then Fatu, showing that he is a risk taker and isn't afraid of getting backlash. Now fast forward, we have entertainment agencies following Papa Yoon by debuting global groups and getting a lot of streams and views on their music videos, whilst BlackSwan struggled to reach 10 million views in 5 years. All this is because DR does not do his job properly. He has amazing ideas and good intentions, but he does not execute them properly, as we've seen with the Lee Gai situation, etc., etc. If Mr. Yoon doesn't change up his act, his label will fail just like TS Entertainment did, even though they created a great boy group, BP. DR Entertainment has so much potential because he is innovative, but it's just run by a very strict person that doesn't listen to anybody else and thinks that his way is the right way, even though he can visibly see that his way isn't the right way. He's just a very stubborn man that feels like asking for help or changing his ways will make him look weak. You would think that the way Dr. fumbled his groups in the past, he'd learn from that and hire more staff to the company. Having one manager manage 4 label mates at the same time is insane. I'm also sick of the narrative that Dr. Ent is a small company because it's not. It's small because it wants to be, not because it really is. That company has been around for almost 40 years. Stop embarrassing yourself and the girls of BlackSwan. The girls do not deserve to be embarrassed and hidden away. Please do better, DR Music Entertainment.